So let's talk about delivery. In order to make your sums work, you are accounting for a diversion of people who might otherwise be in prison. So you forecast that you will save $205 million in the next year alone, $750 million over the next 4 years. So we currently have 10,500 prisoners, costing an average of about $185,000 a year.
200,
In order to save $205 million a year, next year, you'll have to release 1,100 prisoners in the next 12 months. So who do you propose are released?
So again, to come back to some really basic facts, what we've done in terms of our projections with those figures is simply change what the government had proposed in their budget of last year to increase prisoner numbers and therefore to increase prison capacity. What our budget does is meaningfully invest in people's quality of life and reduces cost of living, which we know will reduce crime. So we're focused
will
on
people
actually
be released from
crime
prison?
in the first place.
But in order to make those sums work, you actually have to release people from prison.
There are changes, absolutely, that need to be interrogated around, for example, the fact that around half of the prisoners currently held in prison are held on remand.
So 1,100 prisoners are going to be released. Would they include violent prisoners?
No, Jack, what we're focused on here, again, is improving people's quality of life so that we actually prevent crime in the first place.
Not if they're subject to a criminal act committed by someone who should have been in prison.
But again, if we can just come back to the real-world evidence and data, we know from Te Ruki, the Safe and Effective Justice Review, chaired by the Honourable Chester Burrows, who of course was a former not only policeman but National Party Minister of Police. We had in that report very clearly that the longer that people spend in prison, the more likely that they are to reoffend. So we are unapologetic about putting on the table.
I've seen the recidivism. I've seen the recidivism numbers. That's not true. The longer people spend in prison, the more likely they are to be subjected to rehabilitation programs, and because they're older when they leave prison, they're actually less likely to commit crimes. Those who are most likely to reoffend are the ones who are in prison for a couple of years. And if we're going to be releasing 1,100 prisoners in the next year, presumably that would include some of your people.
Those presently, for example, on remand, which again, if we are meaningfully investing in the court system and properly in rehabilitation, but also improving people's lives, then we're not locking people up and throwing away the key to get worse and worse outcomes.